Today's video is brought to you by Squarespace. Stick around after the sketch for another sketch that happens to be paid for. Hey, thanks for showing up on time. Of course, dude. Happy housewarming. Thank you, thank you. So where do you keep your piano? Is it upstairs? Oh, we don't have one. What? We don't have a piano. Okay. Where's your keyboard then? We don't have one. Right, but surely you have like a Yamaha or a Casio from your childhood laying around somewhere. No, nothing. No, sorry. Huh. You didn't say that when you invited me over here. Is that going to be a problem? Of course it's going to be a problem. I mean, it's a quick get-together. I didn't realize you'd need a keyboard. And I didn't realize you were living in squalor. This house isn't cheap, Daniel. Expensive, tasteless squalor! I mean, we have a guitar. Do you want a guitar? No, I don't want a freaking guitar. What are you, stupid? Okay, well, I'm really sorry, dude, but I don't have a piano here. Fine. Then I guess I will settle with an iPad and GarageBand. We're a PC household. You're a PC? Oh, did you just... Mm-hmm. And then you swallowed it. Mm-hmm. You're not going to find the piano up there, Daniel. I don't believe you. Why? I'd like to sit down now. Please. Do you happen to have a sheet of paper, maybe, or something to draw on? Sure. Thanks. Any requests? What? Do you have any requests? No, not really. Do you want like a coffee or a water or something? I don't need coffee. I need a request. Okay. Mary had a little lamb. This is weird. You can clap it now. I'm not gonna clap. Happy housewarming, buddy! Dennis, how'd you get in here, man? The door was unlocked. Dennis, leave. I'm in the middle of a performance. But I brought a plant. This is my house, man. You can't be kicking people out. I can put the plant away. I mean, where's your piano room? He doesn't have one. You don't have a piano in here? No. You have a keyboard? What is wrong with you two? I'm out. This place sucks. Oh my god. Do you mind if I plug in my keyboard? I think it needs more juice. Yeah, go for it. Any further requests? I don't think this is healthy for either of us. That is fine. I will improvise. How did you do that? Simple, my friend. I just believed. No, that should be physically impossible. You're right. I'm pretty sure we're dreaming right now. What are you doing? Counting all the bumps on the ceiling. What? You see all the little bumps? Yeah. I need to know how many. You know, by the time you're finished, you probably could have made like 5 websites with Squarespace. Maybe. Got some extra time on your hands? Get started on that project or portfolio or whatever you got going on using Squarespace. I know you've already heard by now that it's got easy-to-use templates that look great. And you get access to analytics and data that can help you run a legitimate business from a couch like this one. So head on over to squarespace.com/DanielCrasher for your free trial. And when you are ready to launch, use code DanielCrasher for 10% off your first purchase. How many bumps are we at? 7,362? Nice.
quarantine masses cry out for entertainment, Netflix will save us with a perfect distraction for our troubled times, even though it's dumb luck we got stuck at home now instead of last month, or we'd all be bonding over how dumb the Goop Lab is.
We're coming up against some limitations of the matter-to-matter kind of feeling, where you do physical to work on the physical.
Kill me. Tiger King. Experience the ultimate example of timing is everything in this true crime doc that replaces all your fear, boredom, and isolation with a group of zookeepers who will shock, delight, and confuse you with every other sentence.
They burned up 7 of my property.
I had bought a lemur with bogus paperwork.
I once saw a guy get his finger bit off by a bear outside my office window.
I'd like to introduce my wife, but my husband's at home feeding my brand new baby kangaroo.
In this series, that's one part Coen Brothers crime story.
Would you actually grind your husband up, feed him to the tiger so there's no evidence?
I guess that was your accomplice and the wood chipper.
One part Christopher Guest movie.
We got honey, we got barbecue sauce, skin cream, political condoms.
These are my personalized hand towels. These have been selling pretty well.
And one part snuff film.
And he said, oh man, this is a Ruger. You know a Ruger won't fire without a clip.
But since it is real, we have to grapple with the fact that we're all laughing at, if not outright celebrating, a bunch of broken people hurting each other and their animals.
And those cats trusted me, and so they could look me in the eye when they died.
Ugh. Can we grapple with that after the pandemic? Right now, I just want to hee-haw at some yahoos.
I saw a tiger.
He thinks he's people. Want to get into the exotic animal game? There's a few rules you gotta follow. 1, you gotta be a polygamist. Wait, what?
Joe asked me if Travis could be in a relationship with us too.
Dr. Antel has 4 or 5 wives. Him and Lauren Swain, they use the tiger to entice them in.
2, you gotta be extremely paranoid because everyone's out to get you.
He was already a paranoid person.
What do you carry that gun for?
People?
We put in security cameras, kept guns by the bed.
No, for real.
We found a microphone and an antenna top of the gift shop roof. That could tell it was a listening device.
And 3, make sure all of this zoo stuff is just a stepping stone to launch your media career.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Joe's TV.com.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carol, the Big Cat Rescue.
They're looking at me how young I am there on Letterman. Man!
Leading this herd of catfolk is Joe Exotic, a zoo owner who looks like you get randomized on the Fallout character creator, where even
Good redneck with a mutt.
That's the best thing I've fucking heard in weeks.
with literal Catwoman, Carol Baskin, an animal rights activist who used to sell exotic animal cubs,
Throughout this tape, we'll show you how we take them from the mother.
and now uses the veneer of a charity to obscure the line between zoo and sanctuary, and also probably maybe sorta killed her husband?
The lady who runs Big Cat Rescue killed her own husband, potentially.
Her husband disappeared. Supposedly buried in their property.
I promise you he's underneath that septic tank. Crazy.
Look at her eyes! She's totally lying! So suit up for the documentary event that took the genre from true crime to holy shit, no way that's true. Crime that was smart enough to give you just enough Joe Exotic to keep him compelling, because as anyone in show business will tell you, never go full Joe Exotic, and marks the beginning, not the end, of the biggest thing to happen to tigers since zoo books, because A-listers are rushing to play Joe. Spin-off series are already on their way, and you just know Joe Exotic is going to get pardoned by the president. I'm sure there's a job waiting for him at the EPA.
Guess what, mother?
Starring Joe's crack team of employees.
I'm working with people that just got out of prison.
That was placed on Craigslist. Travis was a pothead from hell. Kept me sober, not drinking.
First got to the zoo, I didn't really know anything about the zoo.
I worked at the ammo section. When I got the job offer to work for Joe, I was like, what's the job? He said campaign manager.
Meat Talk.
Do the wolves. Most of the meat was from the Walmart truck.
Expired meat, and that's what they ate.
Getting interviewed while holding an animal.
I'd like to introduce my friend today.
We have tigers.
Justify tigers, we breed them.
28 species.
The guy that got killed by the lions.
That's the way it was.
Oh, little girl.
Threatening to kill people.
If somebody thinks they're going to walk in here and take my animals away, it's going to be a small Waco.
He was talking about dropping grenades.
You can guarantee goddamn see I'm going to put a trap in your ass.
Somebody needs to kill the bitch.
You'll stop breathing. I'm cut her head off. And then I'm going to put a bullet right between your eyes.
Me and Joe made a pact. If anything went bad, we were going to shoot each other.
Going rogue.
I don't own anything. This bus is not mine. Those cars are not mine.
Joe maxed out all the credit cards.
They had Joe against the ropes because he was broke.
Jeff Rowe doesn't have no money. Mom ran out of money. It's time that somebody as broke as me and you get in there. I'm broke as
Employee abuse.
He pays his staff $150 a week.
$100 a week. I don't pay anybody to do animal care.
Animal abuse.
He puts tigers who've aged out of playtime events in a gas chamber.
Counts 3 through 7 are for shooting and killing 5 tigers.
Fashion abuse.
How many affliction t-shirts do you own?
60 or 70.
Carol laughing at something she just said.
He's gonna get nasty with me. Jane here shot the neighbor's dog. I picked up a gun, held it on him. If someone were to kill me, I think it would push this movement so far forward that it would be worth it.
Shaq patronize these people? Oh, that's a bummer. Logan Paul? Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, no! The thin line between exotic animal lover and cult leader.
They were virgins or close to virgins. If they wanted to get to the top, they should sleep with him.
He's got his little coat and I got my little coat.
The thin line between exotic animal lover and drug dealer.
Joe kept him pumped full of weed.
I sold drugs to maintain my animal habit.
Open up the snakes, stick bags of cocaine inside of them, stitch it back up.
We call it meth now.
The thin line between exotic animal lover and exotic animal lover.
Little gets you a lot of.
Come here, sexy beast. You're money, my sexy clever. Let's see your voice, sexy lawyer. Come here, love me. Come here, love me.
And payback.
I've been doing this 20 years, never even been big.
Bonding with them or you this boosh?
Ow, son of a bitch. Yeah, man. The arm is completely gone. We do not have time to wait. And never gonna financially recover from this.
Animal crackers. When they ask how I'd like to be remembered when I'm gone, I don't have an answer except to say, not like this.
As I was sitting there concentrating as short as I could on the computer, he'd come and rub them balls in my face. They were like golden nuggets for that boy.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. You were good, son. Real good. Maybe even the best. Single-handedly achieving orchestra excellence. He's there, the Phantom of the Opera.
You always make me say the stupidest things, you guys. God!
Okay, go to the bathroom. Oh, someone's actually in the chat.
Right? This is why you start early. Go pee and then jump online.
Are you gonna be my moderator?
I can moderate a bit, yes.
Yeah.
Hello. Am I working?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're on.
Sweet. Cool. Hello, Internet. Welcome to my online studio space. Today, I'm going to be going over shadow... Oh, I only grabbed one piece of paper. That's fine. Today, I'm going to be going over shadows and shading. Let me just figure out the corners of the page. Sweet. Alright. So when we are doing shadows, we need to know the object that we are putting a shadow on. I like to just draw trees. Pull this. And we need to know where our light sources are. So what shadows actually are an absence of light. You can see some of my shadows on the table from my light source, which is above the paper. But if we had the sun as our light source in the top middle of our page, and the sun was casting light on, let's start with one in the front, on this tree, and the light comes straight down, hits the tree, and it goes down. We get a shadow below the tree. And I'm just going to do this quick demonstration with drop shadows. Probably the easiest shadow to deal with. Voila, quick shadow. If the light source is heading over here, then it's going to hit the tree and it's going to go out. So we'll draw a drop shadow going off the page that way. And then same but opposite over here. Comes, hits the tree, shadow goes out. And that is the most basic shadows we could do, and our super easy overview about them. But that's boring. What else can we do with shadows? Well, let's just turn this paper over. So we use shadows to create depth. Same way, similar to how we use perspective to make depth. So up here, I have a horizon line, something going out to the horizon line. I'm just going to draw a cube for now. You can see some depth there. Then if the sun was out, over here, it would be coming and hitting here, and maybe coming out this way. We'd see some shadow coming forward to our side. And then we'd probably also see this be darker than the rest. And honestly, that's probably all you need to know to be able to start experimenting with shadows. What's everything else that you might need to know? Well, there's different ways to shade things. We're going to go over some really boring exercises. And then we're going to do a comic together using shading and shadows. So at the bottom of my page-ish, I'm going to draw a bunch of boxes. And I do not have my T-square out today, so this is going to be extra rough. But that's okay. I'll get the point across. So in each one of these, I'm going to do a different type of shading. Let's do... where's this pen? I'm gonna do hatching, cross hatching. I'm gonna do a gradient. Just gonna do spot blacks. I have 2 more spots. I haven't decided yet. I will think about those as I do these. So for hatching, I'm going to fill up this whole square with hatching. What's hatching? Well, hatching is just drawing a bunch of little lines. So you want them to be pretty close together. You can be pretty loose. It's not like this is precise. I am keeping all the lines sort of in the same area. Or sorry, same direction. By layering up lines on one side, still going in the same direction, I can create sort of a bit of a gradient without having to actually do a whole lot. Turned my pen on its edge so I can get some thicker black lines in the corner. There we go, hatching. Alright, what's cross-hatching? Well, it's the same as hatching, except you have lines going both directions. So there's my first bit of lines. I'm going to go in now and just keep adding more. And do the same thing where I'm going out from the corners. Try and make it darkest in the corners. I don't have to limit myself to 2 directions. I can go as many directions as I want. Just getting a cross-hatched pattern.
Wired in. You're not wired in.
I'm not wired in. Am I getting lag?
No, but you will.
Oh. My IT guy has told me that I am not wired in properly. Probably because I was trying not to trip during the week. So he's going to solve that for me. Alright. Hatching, cross-hatching. Next is going to be a gradient. I'm going to do this with my pencil. We go in. I'm just going to start with a really dark line on the one side, the 2 sides. Just break the lid now. What I like doing when I'm doing this is to get really dark in there. And And then I usually use my fingers, but you can also use a smudge tool if you want to keep your fingers clean. Start pushing the lead around. I'm going to go in, I'm going to add some more. Maybe a little lighter. Lots more here though. The darkest spots, I did put my lead. The darkest spots you just want to make as dark as possible. Because that's where the lead is going to build up and you can push out. My lead again. I should do this with charcoal. 1 moment. I'm going to fetch some charcoal.
Where's your charcoal?
What?
Where's your charcoal? I'll get that right.
I don't think he would have figured it out.
Oh, so what you're saying is you're not even sure where it is yourself. Okay.
Alright, charcoal. Get some really nice black soda charcoal. And this charcoal is extra squeaky. It is called willow charcoal, and I've never used it before. Oh, I should do a comic in charcoal. Maybe that's what I'll do when we're done. Add a little bit light, dark, maybe the lighter patch sort of in the middle there. There we are, gradient. I'm going to make the corners just a little dark again. Alright, spot blacks. So, if I was staying on theme, I would literally just fill in the spot completely black. But that doesn't really show us anything. So let's put a figure in here. No, not a figure. I want a spot black. Oh, my cat is being so helpful. Let's do some trees. There's some trees. There's going to be a person here. Holding a flashlight. And that's all I'm going to get into that. What have my figures outlined? And figure is just going to be a silhouette.
Getting stuff wrapped in the chaos again.
And I'm holding a flashlight, which is shining up onto this tree. So I'm actually going to do a whole color in the whole side of this tree black. It is a black spot. And we'll also see the shadow coming off here. Fill that in. And this tree will probably have spot blacks going this way. And there might be... Get rid of this one box behind that. There we go. Some spot blacks in a little tiny panel. And I still want to do some more stuff. What other types? Sometimes I don't know the name for this. It's inspired by pointillism. Or just fill in the whole thing with circles. I can go bigger or further apart, or both. A bit further away. Trying to stay loose. I kept all these ones really tight together, but I'd rather them look random. Especially as I get further into the corner. When your hand gets tired, you can challenge yourself and use your other hand. Cannot draw circles as quickly with my right hand. I mean, left hand. There we go. I got 5 out of 6 done, as Paul would say. So we've got knowing where our lightning source is coming from. It hits an object, there's a shadow on the other side, and we've gone over a few different ways that we can do shadows. I should have prepared another piece of paper, but I didn't. Glenn, give me a piece of paper, please. Now that we've done this.
Where?
Yeah, right there. Yeah, that's fine. Now that we've done shadows together, just give me both. We're gonna do a comic together. Because knowing how to do the thing doesn't matter if you don't apply it. one, I need to draw panel borders. It has been interesting trying to think about doing comics in this format. This is more of a comic strip format. Kind of like Calvin and Hobbes. Instead of a full page format. Which is what I learned how to do originally. The full page format, that is. That's okay. Because everything is basically the same. You just need to know what you're doing. Alright, so I've marked off the corners of my page. I've marked off the corners of my live art area. Now I need to, it looks like I have room for 2 tiers of panels. So I'm just going to roughly divide that in half. If anyone has any questions, just ask them in chat. I don't actually have the chat up in front of me, but I do have someone moderating for me who could yell at me if need be. Top tier is bigger than the bottom tier. Does that matter? No, it doesn't. It matters so little. Gonna break this up this way as well. Now, I've arbitrarily decided that I want to do this all in charcoal because I think that would be fun. I'm still going to ink some of it though, because we still want to have nice figure lines. Okay, let's do a big panel at the beginning and a big panel at the end. It gives me 6 panels to work with. This. What should I draw a comic about?
What?
What should I draw a comic about?
Homelessness?
That was several weeks ago.
It was. Social distancing.
Excellent. We'll do social distancing the comic. Social distancing. Who are our characters? This is gonna be outside of a grocery store. Lines. People waiting in line. Car here. phone. Another person here. Getting a little smaller in the distance. Loosely based off of the wholesale club on my house. If anyone lives in Esquimalt will know what I'm talking about. Butte. Alright. Got our first panel showing our scene. I'll line up with a car. There's signs here. We're gonna zoom in to this person on the phone. My pencil's gonna break. How's chat, dear?
Dead.
Dead. Dead seats.
Yeah, he's empty.
Approachy guy with a mustache. Holding the phone. Approachy guy looks familiar. I think I've drawn him in comics before. Alright, he's got to be saying something grouchy into his phone. Maybe I'll like this is a waste of time. Not my actual opinion, just as characters. Just so we're clear. Into this phone. Probably be wearing a hoodie or a jacket or something. Already given them short sleeves. That's easy to fix. Fix long sleeves. Zipper. Hoodie. Go. different angle. More angled. He's yelling into his phone so hard that he's like taking it away from his face. That's sometimes people. People behind him. Being all like, what? Car over here. Oh, no, we would be able to see this car. Oops. Flicked away and look at my pencil, as one does. You guys gonna be all like, just don't understand what the big deal is all about with you. Not wanting to cross that guy's head. Do another close-up. The person in its phone being like, dude. It's a minor inconvenience. That's not how you spell inconvenience. Look it up in a minute. then guy being all like, need him to say something ignorant. And a sweater. Grumpy guy's gonna be all like, not you too. Social distancing signs. We'll be able to see part of that. And then for our big panel, we'll have him waiting at the doors. The security guy. Open. Cards inside. Holding on to the backpack, which is slightly unrealistic because we're not allowed to use our own bags right now. diverting section. Don't want to get too much into that. Good enough for now. And guy standing here. Cell phone guy, as in the guy on the call on the cell phone. It's gonna be like, check your, no. Yes, we'll line up for that first. People can't even get to the star. Because they're dead, Jim. Okay. Drew some things. Now I need to find my right pens. Every single one. Oh, brush pen. That'll work. Alright, so I got these things down. Now I'm going to need the lettering and panel borders. So social distancing. Alright, got all those done. I need to do my panel borders. Where's Cooper? Alright, got all that done. Still need to ink a few more things. I don't want to not be able to tell what these objects are after I start shading them. The guy over here. Looks like a clown. Ugh. I like clowns. last panel.
Well, there's more in the chat. And I haven't done.
Apparently there's a chat update.
And we got, it's still the same person.
What is it, dear?
Thumbs down is for the moderator.
Ah. Okay, apparently someone gave Glenn a thumbs down for his moderation.
You should also have the chat up beside you, dear, so that you can just see what's being said.
I'm being lectured about how it's my responsibility and not
It's your
his.
stream. What are you gonna do if I'm not here?
Cry. I'm gonna cry if you're not here, dear.
I know, but can you explain how shadows work with wrinkled clothing or facial features?
Shadows with wrinkled clothing or facial features. It is essentially the same. It's just you have more structures to think about and different structures to think about. And it also depends on what kind of shadows you want to do. Let me finish this. I have a few opportunities where I can do shadows with either or both. Baking some plants in the back. Okay. I'm getting pretty close to an hour, so I'm not going to be shading everything.
Pretty sure you should just look at the chat yourself. I've heard of delays, but...
Yes, I should look at the chat myself. I don't actually have it pulled up beside me at all. It is across the room. As my feeble explanation.
Give me the mouse.
What?
Give me the mouse.
Here's the mouse. Okay, we're not even gonna worry about that. Alright, so, oops, I did not ink his eyeball. I'm gonna shade this. First off, I need to know where my light source is coming from. So, I'm gonna have it coming sort of this way. So I'm gonna see a shadow on this side of the car. It's gonna go that way.
There. Oh look, all the chat. Look at all of it. It's amazing. There's so much chat there.
Okay, the chat's next to me now. Alright, so there's a little bit of a shadow for the car to establish which direction I want the shadows to go in. And so we'll also see shadows on the backs of these figures going out behind them. Shadows really help us keep track of directions, because generally speaking, shadows don't spontaneously change directions. So now that we've established that there's shadows, then I can go into any of these panels and sort of mimic them. So he's looking forward, there's going to be a shadow behind him. So I'll see it a little bit on his clothes and on the back of his hair. For these folds, I've done really basic folds, but the deepest part of a fold generally has the shadow in it. And then for the face, I'm gonna come in from the darkest side and just add shadows going in. See a bit on the side of his nose. And that'll come over on his cheek. Let's see a bit. There's hair. A bit at the top of his head. Screen would be in shadow. A little bit of shadow on the side of his arm. And same here. Going into the sides, back of the head. And then, yeah, I did not erase all these lines, so that's okay. So you can tell, even though we're looking at him from a couple different angles, not a lot of different angles, so we always know which direction he's actually facing. Because the shadows don't really change. It's moved a little bit there. Don't see much any shadows on him here. See a few shadows on his clothes. see any on that side of the car. You can see a little bit there, so a little bit on there. And yeah. Pretty much all of that is actually shaded in. There should be darker. I'm gonna figure out that last panel after. Anyway, that's shadows, and that's putting shadows into your comics to help concrete the direction of stuff. Yeah, if you have any suggestions on how I can do this better, I'm always open to critique. Or if you have any questions about how to do this, or any recommendations about where I take about topics to cover after I go through my normal curriculum, because I do still have a few lessons left that are pre-planned, and then I gotta start winging it. Or suggestions for random pictures for me to draw, so that I can record pictures, not live stream, but record pictures and upload them for people to follow along. And yeah, it's been fun drawing with you guys today. Thank you for coming, and we will see you next time. Bye.
You don't hit end yet.
I know.
You've seen, but
I know.
And then thank your viewers in the chat.
I don't think there's anyone there anymore.
There's one more viewer than there was a moment ago.
Anyway, thank you.
Yep. You can hit stop when you're ready now, I guess.
Shouldn't I?
On the dashboard. And then you can hit stop streaming on OBS.